Hello. Well, I hope you can hear me okay. It seems like the volume's been down on my part, so hopefully that'll be all right. Okay. Hi. I know it has been a few days since I last spoke to you guys, and there's a really good reason for that. I have not been feeling very well, but I'm back, and I have been doing a lot of reading online, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot. I just cannot get over how crazy people are being. They're nuts. And one of the nuttiest things I've seen recently, somebody decided that putting beans is no longer required to put it on toast. You should put it on your Weetabix. I would say that's a no. That's a no for me. I like my Weetabix with milk. I'm a little picky. I like vanilla soy milk. Not everybody's like that. And I don't know, other people like other things with it. I suppose if you want to pour your beans on your Weetabix, then that is your choice. And you can do that. I wouldn't joke. I wouldn't judge. Do your thing. Oh, and also, I realize that the lighting is a little weird today. The overhead light, we tried a smart bulb. And, well, it has turned out to not be very smart. Every time we turn it on, it just blinks, which I thought would be very distracting for a YouTube video. So I turned it off, and I have the kitchen light on right now. So that's where you're getting the reflection of the light from. I hope that you'll forgive me for now. It's the best I could do. And it seems bright enough to see me, so hello. Hi. Okay, so there has been some other things that have been happening in the world. Some of which, I will talk about, and some I will just refrain from speaking about. I want this channel to be informative. I want it to be fun. And I want it to be something that you can go look at and hopefully relax. That's what I would hope for. Because, oh my gosh, there are plenty of people out there that are qualified and capable of arguing politically. I'm not one of them. I do have a lot of opinions, of course. Who doesn't? Do you know anybody that does not have a political opinion? If you do, let me know, because I would love to know them. It would be great to have a conversation where politics don't come into it, because it's really hard to do that. I'm constantly checking things, and I'm aware of what's going on, and and since we last spoke, my bank still has not sent me my new bank card. I don't know what's going on there. I really don't, but it's getting ridiculous. Because normally I get paid on the 3rd of every month. And look at the date today. I have bills. Bills are not getting paid. I couldn't even get my hair dye, as you can probably tell. But that's okay. My landlord has been very patient with me, and I'm grateful to him for that, because he doesn't know me very well, and only time can show what kind of person I'm going to be, and I respect that. But my gosh, he says that, I can pay 2 months rent next month, and I will. I am, however, just beginning to panic a little bit again, because look at the date and my bank card is still not here. And their only solution for this predicament is, well, we can send you another one. So you could probably see where some of my stress is coming from, I'm sure. But in the meantime, I have been doing some art. Now you'll have to forgive this very primitive way of showing you, as I don't have any programs yet, but this is my new piece of art that I'm working on. And I thought it was pretty cool. What do you think? You can probably get a better look at it in the light a little bit. But I'm putting in a lot of details right now. And at the moment, I also have other panels that are attached to it. So there's going to be 4 total. And when I'm done, it's going to be a 4-panel piece of art that goes on the wall. My flat is beginning to look very much like a art gallery. And, it's cool watching it progress. Eventually, I'm going to show you some of those progressive pieces. But there is something that I noticed being English and living here. My girlfriend told me about something called Pancake Day. And I thought, okay, so you have a specific day for pancakes. Okay. And then she showed me what the pancakes were, and I'm like, well, those are crepes. She says, well, we call them pancakes. I said, okay, well, that's cool. Would you like some pancakes? And at first, she was funny because she said that, they only really have pancakes on Pancake Day. And I thought, well, that's silly. So how about we just ignore that and I make you pancakes whenever you want them. So we've agreed on that. And she loves my pancakes. And I make them from scratch. And you can always put anything in them that you want. You can make savory pancakes. You can make sweet ones if you want. I generally make them for other people and then I let them have them. I try not to eat them too much because I'm not trying to get bigger. But that's just me, But she loves the pancakes, and it's such a joy making other people smile and making people that you love happy. And so I've really enjoyed that. But yeah, and lately another thing I've discovered that have been really, really making my days pass better are audiobooks. Because I've been listening to Frankenstein, and I was also subsequently listening to The Exorcist as well, because I had heard that there were in the making a potential remake of The Exorcist, which I'm really hesitating on that. To me, it does not sound like it's going to be a good thing. And I'm not the sort of fan that will not appreciate a remake. I do. There have been several remakes that I've liked recently. But there's something about The Exorcist to me that just feels sacrosanct. As if that is, it's just so well done. And I may be one of the few, but I actually liked all the offshoots. Exorcist 2 and 3 and so on. I liked the series. I thought the series was really well done. But just the idea of remaking the Exorcist, and perhaps I'm misunderstanding this new creation that they're trying to come up with. I don't know. But I don't really trust it. And I really think they should just leave it alone. Although I have not yet seen the new Rosemarys Baby either, which I will. I have every plan on doing so, but I just haven't had a chance to. It's kind of like RuPaul's Drag Race UK. I live here, but I haven't seen it yet. But I haven't seen the Canadian one either. And I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I know it's a little off topic, but I brought that with me, and now Gaia likes RuPaul's Drag Race, which is really fun. But there's just something beautiful about watching people transform into something else, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a beautiful art form, I think. And for many people, it's a way to escape the misery of their lives and the fact that their parents don't accept them for who they are, which is a great tragedy, I think that if you have children, you need to accept them for who they are. And they're not always going to be what you expect them or want them to be. And that's okay. Why that frightens people so much, I don't know. But I know that fear manifests in so many ways, and it hurts so many people. And I don't know, I hope one day that we'll see that we need to move past that. And we need to appreciate the differences in life. And, stand up and speak when things are wrong. And I don't mean because they're wrong in your vision of the way the world is. I mean, if somebody is being attacked because they're gay, or because they have a different religion than you do, and somebody's berating them for that, the person that's berating them, I guarantee you, is doing it because they're either ignorant of what that person is, or they don't care and they like to make other people feel bad, which is terrible. But there's a lot of people out there like that, and I hope to inspire people to do the opposite. When you see someone being terrorized and it's not a violent predicament, be the advocate for the person who's being terrorized. Stand up for them. You can do this. I know you can. You can do the right thing. And you can support someone when they need it the most. It's not hard. It's someone said it very easily. They said, you walk up to the person who's being treated that way, and no, I understand that's not always possible, but what you do is you start talking to them quietly and slowly kind of block the other person from berating them, and that way you can kind of diffuse the situation that way. Of course, if you need to be more vocal, I'm quite capable of being vocal. I was vocal against my mother's racism, and I will be very happy to be vocal against anyone else's. There is no place for racism in this world. At all. There's no excuses that you can give me. None exist that justify being a racist. I don't care what you say. Being a racist is wrong. Period. And when people say, oh, well, they were raised that way, they don't know any better. I was raised that way. I knew better. And I made a different choice. And yes, it cost me hanging out with my family. But I couldn't hang out with them. I couldn't hang out with a bunch of racists. I'm sorry. I just can't. That's what they did all the time, made racist jokes and thought it was hilarious. And I couldn't even pretend to think it was funny. And the irony, of course, I may have mentioned this before, but the irony caught me when my aunt looked at me one day and said, you should get a tan. You're so pale. I'm just letting you ruminate on that for a minute. Just, I was too pale for the racist in my family. Okay, moving on. She made no sense to me at all. And when you don't, you just kind of have to separate yourself from that kind of crazy. And so I did. She called me irresponsible, and there were a number of things that she was doing. But, you have a lot more control than you think you do. And if your family turns out to be the ones that are toxic, that are hurting you, and you are trying to stand up against something that they're guilty of, but they can't even see it themselves, and they won't say they're sorry, you're not wrong. You're not wrong to stand up for what's right, okay? And if they're a bunch of racists, and you're not, you're well within your rights to stand up against them. And I hate to say it, but sometimes you just have to walk away from the blood relatives that you have. If they're not willing to change and all they're going to do is belittle you and make fun of you for not being like them, they're not worth having. Excuse me. throat was getting a little dry, and I thought, well, some iced tea. Oh, that's another thing. I miss sun tea. We used to have sun tea jars over in Texas, and you could put a few tea bags in, then you close the lid, and then you put them out in the sun. And the sun out there was quite potent, so, within a few hours, you'd have some pretty good tea. And then you pull it in, and you pull the tea bags out, and you add, some people I knew would think sweet tea was, a cup and a half of sugar per pitcher. Ooh, holy diabetes. No. For me, it's a teaspoon of sugar per cup. And it's not sugar. What I use is half sugar, half stevia or stevia. And so that way I get the sweetness, but it's not too damaging to my diabetes. And I try to keep my diabetes under control, not consume too much bad stuff, But I can't tell you how thankful I am for all of my followers. I just wanted to say that out loud real quick. I know sometimes I ramble on and I don't stick to topics. I do have adult ADD, so there is that. And sometimes it's kind of like, oh, look, it's a bird. And I was just talking about something random, and that will happen. But I don't know. I like coming on here and chatting with you guys, seeing how you're doing. And you still haven't said anything to me. So you can feel welcome to talk and say hello if you'd like. I look forward to it, But I am having a really good time looking up really strange stories online. And there are some crazy, strange things going on in the world. Oh my gosh. I have seen just very odd things lately. And I'm planning on compiling a lot of that for you and just putting it in the links in the bottom at some point. But, oh my gosh. And there's another thing I found out also that I thought was really strange. In America, when you leave a fast food restaurant, you're expected to clean up after yourself. You put everything on the tray, and then you put it in the rubbish. But in England, from what I understand, you don't do that. You are supposed to leave it on the table. Or so I've been told. I know that I ate at a very small cafe. It was in Tesco, which is the large grocery chain here. There's also Asda, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, Lidl, and that's Lidl. And I do believe I've covered just about all of them. Sainsbury's, if I haven't mentioned that one. But that's all the major grocery store chains here, at least in my vicinity. And they're not bad. They're pretty cool. You'll find so many really interesting and new products you've never heard of. One of these days I'm going to do a video on the scones and clotted cream and strawberry jam and all that for breakfast. Believe me when I tell you, clotted cream is not gross. As an American, when I first heard the terminology, I immediately kind of, I don't know about that. It turns out it's amazing. It's fantastic. It's definitely something you want in moderation, just a little tiny bit at a time, but it's so worth it. It's really good. And if you have that on a scone, it's perfect. Actually, I have a little story I was going to tell you. When I first moved to England in 2011, it's a while back, I was in the back garden of my girlfriend's parents' house, and they had a little tiny koi pond, a little fountain and everything, and it was pretty cool. It was misting outside, so it wasn't quite rain. It was very gentle, and we just woke up. Well, she had some scones, and I believe they call it a cream, what is it? A cream breakfast? cream scone breakfast? Please forgive me if you know the proper term. I can't think of it right offhand. But I was given one scone with some clotted cream and strawberry jam and a cup of tea, of course. And we sat by the koi pond. And you know what? Watching that mist fall down and having, a little bite here, a little bite there, and then the tea. And just sitting next to the person that I love more than anything in the world. I don't know. There was just something magical and amazing, and that's one of my favorite memories. Truly. And I really hope that if you're planning on coming to visit England, that you can make those kind of memories for yourself. Because it's a really beautiful country, and there's a lot of fantastic things that you can discover for yourself. Hopefully at the end, when, COVID is no longer such a foreboding threat on the horizon, we'll be able to make those connections again. I look forward to connecting with some of you guys and just having contact again. Don't you miss that, right? I miss hugs. I miss hugs, and oh my gosh, I miss being around a small portion of people. I really do. Like, I'd give anything to just have a random conversation with someone. It's been hard, but I'm going to stay here with you guys and hopefully keep you company. Hopefully my videos don't bore you. I'm doing my best. But really take care of yourselves, you guys. And again, if you have any questions or anything, please, please, please don't hesitate to ask me whatever it is that you might want to know, okay? And, oh yeah, and I discovered a new musician that I like. Her name is Raza. She's amazing. And she has a little side band called the Slice Girls, which I thought was quite cool. A little, word play on the Spice Girls instead. But I'm a real big fan of, I believe they call it horrorcore. But it's a type of rap, and they use like horror movies and things like that for inspiration. It's really cool, and it's a good stress reliever. I would never physically hurt anybody, but when you listen to songs like that, it can be really like I don't know, kind of relaxing. Like when you play video games and you're like crashing cars or doing something cuckoo that you would never do in real life. It's stress relieving. I think it's healthy. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. I can go on and on forever. It's already 23 minutes long. So I love you guys. And I really, really hope to connect with you again soon, okay? Thank you for being patient. Kisses. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.